Volunteering, campaigning and activism, mentoring and fundraising are all types of social action. For the next 15 minutes, I'll be taking you through the basics of social action and how you can get involved. I'm Jess, and let's get started. Social action is about bringing people together to help improve their lives and the lives of others, and also solve problems that are important in their communities. As mentioned before, this usually involves 4 aspects: volunteering, campaigning and activism, mentoring, and fundraising. By the end of this, you'll be bursting to get involved and make a difference through one of these 4 actions. Let's start with volunteering. Volunteering is giving your time unpaid to a cause that you are passionate about, that benefits a part of the community, whether it be the environment or people. You may already be volunteering for activities like babysitting or walking your neighbour's dog, but additional activities could include helping prepare meals at your local homeless shelter or food bank, refurbishing a local youth centre, or coaching a local sports team. Whatever your interests are, there's opportunity everywhere to give back. Through volunteering, you can gain valuable skills and experiences and feel rewarded for contributing positively to your community. The next action is campaigning. Campaigning and activism is all about creating change, and this can be achieved through participating in a range of different activities. Some people may organise events, write letters to politicians, boycott businesses, or speak out on social media. You're now going to hear from another Apprentice Nation host and social activist, Emani Simpson, about why he began campaigning and the work he's done since.
Hey, thank you so much for joining us today. Could you please share with us what first inspired you to become a social activist?
It was a young person. So I used to have a high street shop when I was an estate agent, and every day this group of boys would come and say hi, and this one day he didn't. His hood was up, and I could really I just sensed something, and I ran out and kind of said, "Hey, how you doing, bro? You good?" And he was just like, "No, I've just been expelled from school." And I just remember being in that position when I was younger, where I just didn't really know what to do next. I was a bit disappointed in myself. And I just spoke. I didn't even think about it. I just said, "Oh, do you want to learn property? Do you want a job?" And he was like, "Yeah." And I was just like, "Oh, have you got a suit?" He said, "No." I said, "Have you got a laptop?" He said, "No." And I was in a position to be able to buy that for him. So it was that first kind of interaction with a young person and seeing how far he came in the space of 4 to 6 months, that just made me say I want to do this every day. And it's one of the reasons I left the property industry to come and work with young people full time.
And what work do you and your company do to combat knife crime?
So do you know, actually my company AVR Inspires, we empower young people through personal development, digital media and enrichment opportunities. So I tend not to focus per se on knife crime. However, that being said, because I was a victim of knife crime when I was younger, it's a bit difficult to kind of separate myself from that conversation. But I always try and go in like for the early intervention. So I'll try and work with either primary school children at times, or I'll go in at a time where a young person may be at the risk of getting involved in that kind of life. Or sometimes, I'll be at the stage where that person has made a decision where they say, "I don't want to be in that life anymore. What else do I want to do now?" So I don't necessarily work with kind of gang members or those that are kind of actively, out there with knives and stuff. But I guess my work does have like a wider scope. And in my film as well, I know my film's reached, quite a few, it's reached like 3.5 million people now. And so I know that there's quite a few people that have decided to turn their life around through that. But I wouldn't say I necessarily target young people that are, on a day-to-day carrying knives, etc.
Helping people turn their lives around. What other impact have you had on your community through the work that you do?
Well, you know what? I think one of the things that I've definitely seen is that I've given people hope, because they'll come up to me and say, because of what you shared with me, it's given me hope for my son or for my own story that life can get better, etc. So I'd say hope, and that's really what is at the core of my message. So I guess when it comes to working with young people, my film wasn't made to kind of glorify my story. It was just used as a tool, and it's opened a lot of opportunities for me to share in lots of amazing places and meet lots of amazing different people. So yeah, anyone that's following me, it's just hope I'm trying to give off. I'm trying to just let you know that it's not how you start your race, it's how you finish it. And it's about the day-to-day steps that you take towards a brighter future. And fundamentally, if your mind can go there, your feet will follow.
Thank you so much, Emani. I have to say, following you on social media does bring me hope on a daily basis. So thank you so much for joining us and sharing your wisdom.
Thank you, Jess.
It was great to hear from Emani. That was a fantastic example of how social activism can help improve communities. Next up is mentoring. Mentoring is a learning relationship that helps people with their professional development. If you become a mentor, your time and expertise would help people build their skills, network, knowledge, and personal growth. This doesn't only help the mentee immensely, but could help you as a mentor develop as well. It's a great way of giving back and helping others whilst also developing your own leadership skills. Have you ever heard of the saying, it's not what you know, but who you know? Well, as a mentor, you can really help others build connections and achieve their goals. A great place to start is ask yourself the following questions. Do you think your experience could help others? Are you a good listener? Do you consider yourself a role model? Do you have some spare time in your week you could give to others? Are you willing to share ideas and knowledge? If you've answered yes to any of these questions, then you are already on your way to becoming a great mentor. You can become a mentor at any age and experience, so it may be something you might want to explore. Apprentice Nation has an amazing quick set all about mentoring. And finally, we have fundraising. Fundraising is when people and organisations raise money for a particular cause. This can be done through organising events and having people pay for tickets. Bake sales are a great idea, and I've personally created social media campaigns asking people to donate money for a specific cause. You may have been approached by people canvassing locally asking for donations, or writing applications for grants. There are many different ways people can raise money for issues they care about, and we're now going to hear from Jessie Saville, who has experience of what fundraising can entail.
How can a young person just getting into social action begin with fundraising?
It's a really interesting question, and I think what I think is quite important is that now more than ever, social action is bringing what you have experience in and what you care about together. So what I would say as a kind of starting point is looking at the tools that you have already, whether you're creative, whether you're really good at organising, whether you have a really great network of people, whether you love being the kind of front man of conversations, using those tools and using those different facets of your personality, and then looking at what the issues are that you care about. Is it something that's, a local issue that's part of your community? Is it to do with equality in your community? Is it to do with these kind of bigger global issues? Do you really care about climate change?
Thank you so much. I think in this sort of political climate, it can seem quite daunting to actually get involved. But what you said about it being so accessible, whether it's online, whether it's a local group, whatever it is you want to do, it's readily available for you, which I think is absolutely great. Jess, you have a very cool job, I must say. Can you tell us the purpose of WaterBear?
Sure. So WaterBear is an impact streaming platform. So essentially it's a free app that you can get on iOS and Android and on the web as well. And it is a host for documentaries about our planet. So it's a place for people to learn and understand about the issues facing our planet, from everything from climate change to diversity to inequalities to biodiversity issues to conservation, from all walks of life. And essentially is a space where we stream documentaries that you can watch, anything from kind of really short form, a couple of minutes, up to amazing award-winning feature-length films. And then you can interact with the organisations that work on those issues. So trying to bring together this community of non-profit organisations around the world, but also brands and campaigning platforms that want to come together and create change. And then using content and storytelling and amazing engaging films to really bridge that gap between engagement and action.
That sounds incredible. And so innovative. I had never heard of, something that works together with all these sort of mediums before to create change.
Yeah, it's a completely new concept, and I think what we had a lot when we started was like, oh, you're the Netflix for nature, and it was a really great term, and it got coined across lots of different media when we launched last December. But what we really wanted to kind of drill down is that when you watch Netflix, it's that kind of Netflix and chill, don't do anything, kind of switch off. And we wanted to create this space where we got people to water bear and act, and really to engage in the content and then be able to take those actions that create change in the space that they've engaged in.
Fundraising is a very popular and easy way to get involved with social action. You could begin with a sponsored walk. This could get you on the right track, excuse the pun. When you have a social purpose and are driven, getting involved in any of these 4 elements of social action can make a huge difference to both you and the community. It's important to find a cause or organisation that's the right fit for you, that aligns with your personal values and passions, so you can both get the most out of the experience. Check out the quote on the screen for inspiration. One person can make a difference and everyone should try. Some other Apprentice Nation sets I would recommend you check out are: What is a social entrepreneur? Presenting social action on your CV, and Climate Anxiety, How to Take Action. To find out more about how you can get involved in social action, check out these websites. If we all play our parts, we all contribute towards making a better world.